to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services. Thank you for your wonderful classes. And welcome to today's call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Cinmayi, Prema, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. This is Shivani from Western Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining, and thank you for all your services. Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for joining each and every day, and welcome to today's call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat pranams to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Oregon, Portland, Oregon. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining today's call, and welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Caitanya Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Putting down.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining today's call. Thank you for encouraging each one of us here by your sincere chanting. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Cinmayi, Priya Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devdasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services, all your glorious services, and welcome to today's call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. It's 11, Mataji. Shall we move on? Prabhuji is also joined. Mataji, should you start the recording? Thank you. Hare Krishna, RadhikaVallabh Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada, all glory to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time. We're all waiting to hear from you. But before you start the class, can I have permission to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today? Thank you, Prabhu. So the quote for today is, if you are steady, either in success or failure, that is called yoga. Don't mind for the success or failure. Do act on behalf of the Supreme Lord. And if you're steady in that position, then your working in spiritual platform is successful. This was instructed by His Divine Grace at New York on April 1st, 1966. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, RadhikaVallabh Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your time. We are all eagerly waiting. And devotees, today Prabhuji will be talking on Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khanda 9th chapter from verses 201 to 208. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please take over.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Devaya. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे Krishna. So we are reading from Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khanda, chapter 9, verse number 200 to 208. I'll read the shlokas. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Vishwambara Jaya 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 Navadvipa Purandara. All glories to Mahaprabhu, all glories to Vishwambar, all glories to the Lord of Navadvipa. Jaya Jaya Ananta Brahmanda Kotinata Jaya Jaya Shachi Punyavati Garbhajata. All glories to the Lord of innumerable universes. All glories to him who was born from the womb of the pious Mother Shachi. Jaya Jaya Veda Gopya Jaya Dvija Raja Yuge Yuge Dharmapala Karinana Saja. All glories to the Lord who is unknown to the Vedas. All glories to the best of the Brahmanas. You assume various forms in every age to protect the religious principles. Buddha Rupe Sambaila Nagare Nagare Vina tumi janayi de kijanite pare. You wandered throughout the city unknown to all. Who can know you unless you reveal yourself? Tumi dharma, tumi karma, tumi bhakti jnana, tumi shastra, tumi veda, tumi sarva dhyana. You are dharma, you are karma, you are bhakti, and you are jnana. You are the scriptures, you are the Vedas, and you are the object of all meditation. Tumi siddhi, tumi riddhi, tumi bhoga yoga, tumi shraddha, tumi daya, tumi moga lobha. You are the mystic perfections, you are prosperity, you are enjoyment, and you are yoga. You are faith, you are compassion, you are illusion and greed. Tumi Indra, Tumi Chandra, Tumi Agni Jala, Tumi Surya, Tumi Vayu, Tumi Dana Bala. You are Indra, you are Chandra, you are Agni and Varuna. You are Surya, you are Vayu, you are wealth and strength. Tumi Bhakti, Tumi Mukti, Tumi Aja Bhava, Tumi Vahai Bekena, Tomara Ye Saba. your devotional service, your liberation. You are Brahma and Shiva. But why you consider to be them? They are all subordinate to you. Purve mora sthane tumi apane balila tora ganga deka mora charana salila. Previously, you personally told me that the water of your Ganges has emanated from my feet. In this regard, one should discuss Srimad Bhagavatam on point 18.21 and 8.19.28. Hare Krishna. We want to thank all the devotees of the Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, for giving this opportunity to speak something from Caitanya Bhagavata. So, all the devotees assembled here to hear from Caitanya Bhagavata. I want to express my gratitude. So today we are discussing from the Mahaprakash Leela, very famous pastime of Chaitanya Bhagavata. The verses which we are discussing today, in these verses, Sridhar Kolavecha is actually glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are the verses we are seeing. Mahaprakash Leela, the uniqueness of this particular Leela is that in this particular Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals his position or assumes a position as the Supreme Personality of God. That is the speciality of this Leela. Very few places in the Chaitanya Charitamrita where Mahaprabhu actually reveals his original position as the Supreme Personality of God. Otherwise, he would be in the mood of a devotee only. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Prahlad Maharaj's prayer, Prahlad Maharaj says that Ittam Ritariyak Rishideva Jashavatare Lokan Vibhavayasi Hamsi Jagat Pratipan Dharmam Maha Purusha Pasi Yugan Vrittam Channak Khalau Yadavavas Triyugota Sattvam. Prahlad Maharaj says that, my dear Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, as an animal, or as a great saint, as a rishi, or as a devata, as a fish, or as a tortoise. And this way you maintain entire creation in different planetary systems, and you kill the demonic principles. According to the particular age, you protect the religious principles. But in this age of Kali, but you do not assert yourself for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are known as Triyugaya. In this age of Kali, because you appear in the covered form, therefore you are known as a Triyugaya. So, when we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation, he has appeared in a covered form. All the other incarnations of the Lord, they are accepted by all the sampradayas. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation, the quotations are there in the Shastra about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation. Mahaprabhu's superhuman activities are present, which we can read in the Shastra. Mahaprabhu has been accepted as the Supreme Lord especially by great authorities, but who are mainly followers of Mahaprabhu, the 6 Goswamis of the Supreme Lord. But still, we find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is respected as a saint in other sampradayas, but not as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Mahaprabhu's incarnation is a Channa Kalau, it's a covered incarnation. For example, in a government, there are many different departments. Many, say, police department, which has different varieties, which is working for the government. There is a state government police. There is a Central Reserve Police Force, and there is a CISF Police Force. There is a Border Security Force, and there is a Energy Commandos, and then Indian Army, and then there are like Research and Analysis Wing, and there are certain secret commandos. Like that, there are various police forces. All of them are working for the government. But the secret wing, or what we say the sleeper cell wing, of the government's say police force. This particular police force, secret cell wing, their identity will be, although they are also working for the government, but their identity will not be known to the common people. What to speak of the common people, the secret cell, the sleeper cell wing, their identity will not be known even to the other government police forces. It could be state government or a CBI, especially the sleeper cell wing. Their identity will be known to only very few people in the government. Very few people. It may not be known even to the other important officials in the government. And even those people who know the identity of the sleeper cell, they will not reveal their identity openly. Why? Because if the identity of the sleeper cell people is revealed, then they cannot execute their mission. Because the mission of the sleeper cell wing of the government, it will be a very secret mission. It could be something like say going to the certain neighboring country as a spy to find out certain plans of the neighboring country. Or it could be the sleeper cell wing members may even join the terrorist group and become like a terrorist in order to find out the plans of the terrorists. So that because their mission is very secret, their identity will not be known to even to the top officials in the government. It will be known to very few people in the government, and even those who know will not reveal that. But the same sleeper cell wing, their identity may be exposed in on very special select instances. Suppose, for example, a sleeper cell person has joined the terrorist group in order to find out the plans of the terrorists. But if suppose the terrorist leader has captured some very close relative, the wife or the son of that particular sleeper cell person, then out of that affection for that the near and dear ones, the sleeper cell person may reveal his identity. Similarly, here when we talk about Caitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is a covered incarnation. Why it is a covered incarnation? Mahaprabhu's incarnation is like covered incarnation. It is like a sleeper cell wing of the government. Why it is a covered incarnation? Just like the sleeper cell wing has a very secret mission. Similarly, Mahaprabhu has come with a very secret, confidential purpose in his mind. And that purpose cannot be executed, cannot be pursued easily if his identity is known. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrusho Vanayaiva Swadyo Yenadbhuta Madhurima Kidrusho Va Madhya Saukyam Chasya Mad Anubhavata Kidrusham Veti Lobhat Tad Bhavadyam Tad Bhavadya Samajani Shachi Garbha Sindhu Harinduhu. The secret purpose of Mahaprabhu's appearance is that to understand the glory of Rani's love and the wonderful qualities in him which she alone relishes through her love, and to experience the happiness which Srimati Radharani feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. So with this three secret purposes in mind, Mahaprabhu has appeared with the emotions of Srimati Radharani from the womb of Srimati Sachidevi. So, because these three are very secret, confidential purposes, Mahaprabhu appeared in a concealed manner. That's why it's called as a Channa Kalau. It's a covered incarnation. But the same Mahaprabhu's identity, just like a sleeper cell person's identity gets exposed in certain select instances, similarly Mahaprabhu's identity gets exposed in certain select instances. When Nityananda Prabhu was attacked by Madai, at that time Mahaprabhu, forgetting his mission that he has appeared in the mood of a devotee, Mahaprabhu his hand Sudarshan charms and he was about to kill Madai. Just like suppose a sleeper cell was joined the terrorist group, but the terrorist has captured the near and dear ones of the sleeper cell member, then that affection towards the near and dear one, it becomes so overwhelming that sleeper cell person suddenly reveals his identity and then starts fighting with the terrorist people. So Mahaprabhu revealed his identity when Nityananda Prabhu was attacked by Madai. Another one instance where Mahaprabhu reveals his identity as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is this Mahaprakash Leela. Just like the sleeper cell members, among themselves, sometimes the sleeper cell group is there. When they are in the presence of common outsiders, they may not reveal their identity. But among themselves, in certain occasions, they may reveal their identity. They may behave according to their original identity. So in the Mahaprakash Leela, with the very intimate devotees, Mahaprabhu actually assumes the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this pastime, he actually accepts the worship of the devotees, service of the devotees. So Sridhar Kolavecha is one of the very special devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this pastime, Sridhar Kolavecha's story, every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would spend 2 hours arguing with Sridhar Kolavecha, bargaining for the banana leaf, banana trunk. And Mahaprabhu was so captivated by Sridhar Kolavecha's devotion. Mahaprabhu would say that you have some secret wealth with you. So Sridhar Kolavecha was such a poor person that his clothes were torn, and in his house actually there were so many holes in the house There would be rainwater constantly pouring within the house. His clothes were torn. And he would hardly earn any money. But Mahaprabhu would say that you have got a very secret wealth, and I will actually one day expose your wealth. So when we talk about the definition of wealth, wealth is defined in different ways in different scriptures. For example, in the Niti Shataka, Bhartrhari says that Jatir Yatu Rasatalam Gunaganais Tatrapyado Gamyatam Sheelam Shailatatat Patatvabhijana Sandakyatam Vaknina Shaurye Vairini Vajramashu Nipatat Vartostu na Kevalam Yeneikena Vina Gunas Trinalava Praya Samasta Ime. In this shloka, Bhartrhari speaks about the importance of wealth from an Artha Shastra point of view. He says that let the superiority of the caste go to hell. Let a host of good qualities find even a worse fate. Let good manners fall down from the mountain and meet an unnatural death. Let the relatives be burnt by fire. Let the thunderbolt soon fall over the head of the chivalrous people. So our riches are wealth alone. Our riches are the wealth alone. Without wealth, all these good things, birth in a high family, having good qualities, good behavior, high knowledge, etc. Without wealth, all these things are no better than a bit of straw. Like that, Bhartrhari speaks about the importance of wealth from a Arthashastra point of view. Wealth is, even if a person has beauty, knowledge, birth and good family, good qualities, without wealth, there are no use. People also in this world, suppose many instances, they really look for the wealth. In a marriage, they find out what is how much wealth, how much the boy is earning, and what are the properties. Like wealth becomes very important. And then another way by which wealth is defined is that the Yaksha Prashna, the last question asked by Yaksha to Yudhishthira Maharaj is that Vyakyata me Tvaya Prashna Yata Tatyam Parantapa Purusham Tvidanim Vyakyahi Yascha Sarvadani Naraha. So Yaksha is asking that Purusham Tvidani Yakyahi Yascha Sarvadani Naraha. Who is the person that is possessed of all the wealth? And this is the last question which Yaksha asked. Dharmaputra answers that Divam Sprishati Bhumim Cha Shabdaha Punyena Karmana Yavatsa Shabdo Bhavati Tavat Purusha Uchyate. Tulye Priya Priye Yasya Sukadukke Tataivacha Atita Nagate Chobe Savai Sarvadani Nara. He essentially says that that person to whom the things likable and not likable, Priya and Apriya, Sukha and Dukkha, sorrow and happiness, Atita and Anagate, past and the future, all these things are same. That person is possessed of all the wealth. That person is possessed of all the wealth. Sarvadani Nara. Essentially, what Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that the person who is satisfied he is actually considered to be wealthy. Because a satisfied person, he will consider the likable and dislikable things as the same, sorrow and happiness as same, past and future as same. Therefore, the Bhagavatam says that Santushtasya nirihasya swatma ramasya yatsukam kutastat kamalobena dhavato artehayadisha. One who is content and satisfied, who links his activities with the Supreme Lord, enjoys transcendental happiness without endeavoring for his livelihood. Where is such happiness for a materialistic man who is impelled by lust and greed, and who therefore wanders in all directions with the desire to accumulate wealth? Sada santushta manasah sarva shivamaya dishah sharkara kantakadibhyo yatopanat padashim. Somebody is going to a forest. The forest, there are so many thorns are there. So then the king orders, okay, put a carpet all over the forest. But putting a carpet all over the forest, that is a practically very difficult solution to implement. But a more wider solution is that wear a appropriate shoe and go to the forest. So when a person wears the shoe of satisfaction, wherever he may go, even if he goes to the dense forest which is filled with so many thorns and pebbles, but as long as a person is wearing a shoe of satisfaction, whatever may be the difficult situations in his life, he will not be affected with a difficult situation because of the satisfied mind. Therefore, satisfaction is considered to be a wealth. But another way the wealth is glorified is that the wealth of knowledge. Sarva dravyeshu vidyaiva dravyamahur anuttamam aharyadvad anargatvad akshayatvacha sarvada. Among all the dravyas, the wealth of knowledge is considered to be the topmost because it cannot be stolen, it is invaluable, and it doesn't get destroyed. Akshayatvad. Na choraharyam, na cha rajaharyam, na bhratrubhajyam, na cha bharakari. Vyayam krite vardate eva nityam vidyadanam sarvadana pradhan. Vidya cannot be stolen, it cannot be usurped by the king, it cannot be divided among the brothers, and it is not a heavy. And the more you spread the Vidya, the more you give the Vidya Dana to others, the more one's knowledge will increase. More one's wealth of knowledge will increase. Therefore, it is considered to be the highest wealth. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj once defined that one can know how rich a person is by knowing, one can know how much rich a person is by finding out how many things the person has with which wealth cannot buy. He gave this profound definition of wealth. Who is a rich person? A rich person is that person, how many things that person has which cannot be bought with the wealth. Such a person is truly rich. So there are many things in our life which cannot be bought with the wealth. Say good behavior, it cannot be bought with the wealth. Humility cannot be bought with the wealth. Attentive sadhana cannot be bought with the wealth. Service attitude cannot be bought with the wealth. So like that, say getting up in the morning, good habits, that cannot be bought with the wealth. So one has to understand how many things a person has which wealth cannot buy. By that one can understand how rich a person is. And this definition of wealth is actually taken to the highest level in the Caitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Prema Dana Vinavyartha Daridra Jivana Dasa Kori Vetan More Deha Prema Dana. Without the wealth of Prema, Prema Dana Vinavyartha Daridra Jivan, a person is considered to be a Daridra. Therefore, Mahaprabhu says that please accept me as your servant and give me the salary of the Prema. Dasa Kori Vetan More Deha Prema. So, this so this definition of wealth reaches the highest level in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be telling Sridhar Kolavecha, one day I will expose the wealth, the secret wealth you have. The wealth he was referring to the wealth of Prema. And what is the definition of Prema? So according to the technical definition is that in the Madhurya Rasa, the Sthayi Bhava is called as Madhura Rati. And the Sthayi Bhava is of three types. Sadharani Rati, which is present in the personalities like Kubja, and Samanjasa Rati, present in the queens of Dwaraka, Samati, present in the gopis. The Samartha Rati of the gopis, when it becomes condensed, then it becomes a Prema. Sarvata Dvamsa Rahitam Satya Karane Yadbhava Bandhanam Yuno. The attachment between the lovers, which is wholly devoid of attraction, even when there are aspects. Our Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu defines Prema in this way. Samyan Mashranita Swanto Mamatvati Shayankitaha Bhava Sayeva Sandratma Budai Prema Nigadyate. So when the Bhava Bhakti becomes extremely condensed, then it becomes a Prema. Then that is called a Prema by the learner. And this Prema completely softens the heart of a person. And then because of Prema, a person develops a feeling of Mamatva, possessiveness towards the Lord. In this way, the Prema is defined in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So here, Sridhar Kolavecha, externally also a very poor person, but he had this highest wealth of Prema. And Mahaprabhu is exposing Sridhar Kolavecha's wealth of Prema in this Mahaprakasha pastimes. And Sridhar Kolavecha, Mahaprabhu told Sridhar Kolavecha to offer prayers. And Sridhar Kolavecha is actually glorifying Mahaprabhu. Then he says that you are the Lord of the innumerable universes. You are born from the womb of Mother Shachi. You are actually unknown even to the Vedas. You are the best of the Brahmanas. In every yuga, you appear to protect the religious principles. And then he says, you are Dharma, you are Bhakti, you are Jnana, you are the Shastra, you are the Vedas, you are the Siddhi, you are the Riddhi, you are the Bhoga, Yoga, etc. So these shlokas, when we see how Krishna is all in all, this we can see even the Bhagavatam first canto. Sutta Goswami says that Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Makha, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriyaha, Vasudeva param Jnanam, Vasudeva param Tapaha, Vasudeva paro Dharmo, Vasudeva para Gatihi. Lord Vasudeva is the purport of the Vedas. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedya. Vedanta krit veda videva chakam. I am to be known through the Vedas. He is the purport of the Vedas. Vasudeva para Veda. Vasudeva para Maka. He is the object of all the sacrifices. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhoktacha prabhurevacha. He is the object of all the sacrifices. Vasudeva para yoga. Vasudeva para kriya. Krishna is the Yogeshwara. Therefore, the perfection of yoga is dependent on Vasudeva. Vasudeva para kriya. So the knowledge, varnashram, varnashram is knowledge, varnashram, austerity dependent on Vasudeva. Aradito yadi haris tapasa tatakim. Naradito yadi haris tapasa tatakim. If a person is worshipping Vasudeva, then the need of either tapasya. And if a person is not worshipping Vasudeva, then what is the need of other tapasya? Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva paragatihi. Here the word dharma refers to bhakti. Dharmo yasya madatmakam. The real dharma is that which is actually bhakti to Vasudeva. Bhakti is dependent on Vasudeva. Vasudeva paragati, prema and liberation are also dependent on Vasudeva. The same thing, what is there in the Bhagavatam, Sridhar Kolavecha is glorifying Mahaprabhu through this. Bhagavad Gita also says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births, a jnani, through the devotee association, he surrenders to Krishna, understanding that Krishna is everything. Such a person is very rare. His mind is only attached to me. So I'll read just a small section from Ramanuja's commentary. Ramanuja says that, Na alpa sankhya, sankhyatanam punya janmanam phalamidam yat mat cheshata ekarasatma yatatmya jnanapurvakam mat pradanam. A person comes to the understanding that I am actually subservient. I am the servant of Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, in all respects. A person comes to this understanding not after few births, but after many births. Na alpa sankhya, sankhyatanam punya janmanam phalamidam. After many births. Apitu bahunam janmanam, punya janmanam ante. At the end of many births, a person comes to this understanding. Vasudeva sheshatai karasaha. Aham tad ayatta swarupa sthiti pravruja sacha asankhyehi kalyana gunaganaihi parataraha iti jnanavan bhutva. A person understands that Lord Vasudeva is the abode of unlimited auspicious qualities. He gets this understanding, and then he understands that Vasudeva eva mama parama prapyam prapakamcha. Vasudeva is my ultimate goal, and he is also the means to achieve that goal. Both the prapya and the prapaka are Krishna only. The prapya is Krishna. The Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the goal is Prema. And the means to achieve that goal is the path of bhakti. And Prema and path of bhakti, both belong to the Swarupa Shakti of Krishna. So, when we are performing bhakti, we are not dependent on ourselves. We are not depending on our effort. When we are performing bhakti, we are depending on Krishna only, because according to the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, bhakti is the Swarupa Shakti of Krishna. Because sometimes the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, when they hear the word sadhana bhakti, what they understand is that, oh, sadhana bhakti means they are performing bhakti by depending on their effort to attain Krishna. And therefore, they look down upon sadhana bhakti, because depending on one's own effort to attain Krishna is actually is an inferior path in comparison to the path of prapatti or sharanagati. In the path of sharanagati or the prapatti, a person depends only on Krishna. And therefore, when they hear about sadhana bhakti, they think that sadhana bhakti means one is depending on one's own effort, and therefore they look down upon the sadhana bhakti. But in the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, the word sadhana bhakti, when we are executing sadhana bhakti, whether it is Vairi sadhana or Raganuga sadhana bhakti, we are not depending on our own effort. We are depending on Krishna only, because according to the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, bhakti is the Swarupa Shakti of Krishna. Shakti Matam Abhed. There is no difference between the Shakti and Shaktiman. Therefore, when we are depending on, when we are executing bhakti, we are depending on the Swarupa Shakti of Krishna, and the Swarupa Shakti of Krishna is not different from Krishna. Therefore, contrary to the understanding which we have, when we are performing sadhana bhakti, we are depending on Krishna only, not on our own effort. So Vasudeva eva mama prapyam prapakam cha. Lord Vasudeva is my goal and also my means to attain that goal. That is also Vasudeva. Anyadapi yan manoratha varti sayeva mama tat sarvamiti mam yaha prapadyate. All other desires, all other mindset, the devotee actually rejects. Apart from Vasudeva, there is nothing else. So such a person who has this understanding is a Mahamana. He has a great mind. And such a person is Sudurlabha. To find such a person is very rare. Who comes to this understanding. So Sridhar Kolavecha is offering a similar prayer here. It's like Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Vasudeva Para Yoga, Vasudeva Param Tapaha, in the same line. And lastly, Sridhar Kolavecha is saying to Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu would come to meet Sridhar Kolavecha, Mahaprabhu would say that this Ganges emanates from my lotus feet, like that he would say. Immediately Sridhar Kolavecha would close his ears and say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. How can you say that Ganges emanates from your lotus feet? But here, now Sridhar Kolavecha is actually referring, yeah, it is indeed true that Ganges emanates from your lotus feet. In the Bhagavatam first canto, there is a shloka. Thapi padanaka srishtam jagad virincho pakrutarhanambah shesham punatanyatamo mukundat ko namaloke bhagavat padartah. Who can be worthy? Ko namaloke bhagavat padartah. Who can be worthy of the name Bhagavan, except Sri Krishna, except Supreme Lord Krishna. Because Brahmaji, yat pada nakava srishtam jagat virincho aprutarha namba. Brahmaji collected the water which has washed the lotus feet of Krishna, and then with that Charanamrita, he actually welcomed Lord Shiva. Sa Isham Punati Anyatamo Mukunda. Now he used that Charanamrita in the welcoming of Lord Shiva. And this water, Sa Isham Punati, this water, which is the Charanamrita of the Lord Ganges, it purifies the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. So here, Sridhar Kolavecha is referring that you earlier said that Ganges emanates from my feet. So Krishna's feet is always called as lotus feet. Lotus feet. So normally in this world, lotus emanates from the water. Where do you see the lotus? You see the lotus in the small ponds. So water is the source of the lotus. That is what normally we see. But then it is said that water comes from the lotus. This is something contradictory. This contradiction is pointed out by Cinmayi Pandit Keshav Kashmiri. Cinmayi Pandit told Keshav Kashmiri to compose some shlokas in glorification of the Ganges. And Keshav Kashmiri, in the speed of a raging wind, he composed 1,000 shlokas in glorification of the Ganges. And then Mahaprabhu said that, now you take some verse and then explain the meaning of the shloka, like that Mahaprabhu told. Then Keshav Kashmiri asked that, okay, which verse you want me to tell the meaning? Then Cinmayi Pandit quoted the 64th shloka. What is the shloka? Mahatvam Gangaya Satatam Idam Abati Nitaram Yadesha Shri Vishno's Charana Kamalotpatti Subhaga Dvitiya Shri Lakshmi Riva Suranarair Arche Charana Bhavani Bhartur Ya Shirasi Vivavat Yadbhuta Guna. So Mahaprabhu quoted this shloka, the 64th shloka. And then said, you please explain this meaning. And he explained the meaning, and then Mahaprabhu said that now let us analyze the good qualities and the faults in the shloka. And then he said, there cannot be faults in my shloka. There is never in my career I have composed a shloka with my faults. Then Mahaprabhu said that, no, if you see carefully, don't take me wrongly, don't mistake me. But if we carefully see, this shloka contains some faults. And then Mahaprabhu told how there are 5 faults in the shloka. Avimrishta Videyamsha, 2 faults of Avimrishta Videyamsha. And then how there is a fault of Punarutti, Bhagna Krama, and one more fault. 5 faults he pointed out. And then after pointing out the 5 faults, Mahaprabhu also said that there are also 5 good qualities. And then he said, one of the good quality present in the shloka is that Virodhabhasa Alankara. How Virodhabhasa Alankara, he pointed out the word Charana Kamalotpatti Subhaga. Charana Kamalotpatti Subhaga. This Ganges has emanated from the lotus. He said, here normally lotus emanates from the water. But you have said that Ganges water emanates from the lotus. This is something contradictory. But although it is contradictory, this is a beautiful Alankara called as Virodhabhasa Alankara. The Ganges water has emanated from the lotus. What is the lotus being referred? The lotus feet of Vishnu. So the water emanating from the lotus, this is something inconceivable to our mind. How can that? We only, what is conceivable is that lotus coming from the water. But water coming from the lotus is not conceivable to our mind. But Lord Vishnu has got Achintya Shakti by which he can accomplish the inconceivable. What is the inconceivable thing he accomplishes? The water coming from the lotus. Krishna's feet is like a lotus, and the Ganges water has emanated from the lotus. This is the inconceivable aspect of Lord Vishnu. And here, Mahaprabhu is praising that, oh, your poem has got this Virodha Bhasa Alankara. So Mahaprabhu not only pointed about the faults, he also spoke about the good qualities. So one of the definition of intelligence given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is that intelligence has two aspects. One aspect is that the ability to memorize, ability to remember or recollect. That is one aspect of the intelligence. Second aspect of the intelligence is the Viveka Buddhi, the ability to analyze. So, for example, in different exams, certain questions are mainly based on how much you are able to memorize. They test your memorizing ability. They test your memory. Certain questions, they test your ability to think, ability to analyze. They test your Viveka Buddhi. So the intelligence has both these aspects. So in this pastime of Keshav Kashmiri, Mahaprabhu demonstrated or exhibited both these aspects of intelligence. Because although Keshav Kashmiri spoke the 100 shlokas like a raging wind, Mahaprabhu remembered the shlokas and he quoted the 64th shloka. He said that by the grace of the Lord, you have composed these shlokas, and by the same grace of the Lord, I got the ability to remember once after hearing. I am a Shrutidhara by the grace of the Lord. So Mahaprabhu demonstrated his quality of intelligence in the form of ability to remember. The same Mahaprabhu not only remembered the shloka, but he on the spot he analyzed the good qualities and the faults in the shloka. So this is the beauty he is saying that how your shloka has got the Virodha Bhasa Alankara. Virodha Bhasa Alankara is a beautiful Alankara. I'll just give two more examples and end. Another example of Virodha Bhasa Alankara, for example, in the Champu Ramayana, there is a shloka. The last line, when the Devatas, they go to Lord Vishnu, to pray to Lord Vishnu, so that he appears to kill Ravana. At that time, there is a description of Lord Vishnu. Nidra mudram nikila jagati rakshane jagarukam. Lord Vishnu is in the Nidra mudra, in the Yoga Nidra mudra. At the same time, he is jagarukam. He is very awake and alert to give protection to the Nikila Jagati Rakshane, all the three worlds. Here is another instance of the Virodha Bhasa Alankara. Normally, a person who is awake, how can he give protection to how can he be alert to give? Normally, a person who is awake, how can he be asleep? Or a person who is asleep, how can he be awake to give protection to others? But Lord Vishnu could do that. Another example of the Virodha Bhasa Alankara, in the Bhartrihari Sthiti Shataka, there is a shloka. A greatly learned person who is highly learned in the Shastra, who has lot of shishyas with him. And if that learned person is living as a poor person in a kingdom, then that is not the fault of the learned person, but that is the fault of the king. who failed to recognize the learned person. Who failed to recognize the learned person and therefore who failed to reward that learned person. Tajjadyam vasudadipasya kavayas tvartam vinapishwara. Such a learned person, even without wealth, he is wealthy only. Even without wealth, he is Ishwara, he is wealthy. Here is another instance of the Virodhabhasa Alankara. Without wealth, how can a person be wealthy? It's a contradiction. But here it is said, even without the wealth, this learned person is wealthy because of the wealth of knowledge. That is the Virodhabhasa Alankara. So in this way, what we discussed today, we discussed how the Mahaprakasha pastime is that pastime which is special in the sense that in this pastime, Mahaprabhu reveals his position as the Supreme Lord. So we discussed how Mahaprabhu's incarnation is like a sleeper cell in the government. We discussed about the Channa Kalau, the covered incarnation. And then we discussed the various definitions of the wealth. And Sridhar Kolavecha has the wealth of Prema. We discussed what is Prema. And then how Sridhar Kolavecha is glorifying the Lord as Vasudeva Sarvamiti. We discussed some shlokas in relation to that. Finally, this shloka, how the Ganges emanates from the lotus feet of the Lord. For that, we discussed how the same similar meaning comes in the shloka composed by Keshav Kashmiri, how the Virodhabhasa Alankara is used. We discussed other examples of Virodhabhasa. Hare Krishna. Stop here. Anybody would like to add
Hare Krishna
anything?
Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for this very, very beautiful class. And thank you for summarizing everything in the end. It was a very beautiful class. I really, really liked how you compared Mahaprabhu's avatar to a sleeper cell recruit, and how you said he may reveal his identity when his near and dear ones are put into distress. And that's what Mahaprabhu did in Jagai Madai pastime. And then you linked it to Mahaprakash Leela. It was so beautiful, Prabhu. And how Kolavecha Sri Sridhar has the wealth of Prema, and how beautifully you analyzed that point. It was very nice, Prabhu. And I really liked when you said intelligence has two components, ability to memorize and ability to analyze. Never thought of it that way. Something for me to always remember. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. So many take-home points. Really grateful to you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If you have any realizations or questions to Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a nice class. It was very interesting to hear the analogy of Mahaprabhu, like how Mataji also mentioned right now. That was interesting. And how you explain Virodhabhasa Alankara as using that particular verse about the Ganges. That was also very, very, very interesting to know. And the kind of prema that Sridhara had, that was reflecting in his prayers. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I don't have any questions, but the analysis was very beautiful, very rasik. Thank you so much for coming on the call and giving us your valuable association. So grateful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Mataji. Anybody else has anything to share? Prabhu, if not, with your permission, shall we end the call, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your for giving your time. Let us pay our obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas and yourself. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha.
Prajapatitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji ki
Ki
jai.
jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Very, very nice class, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Dandavat. Thank you, devotees.